I think everyone's extremely proud of the academy and how they performed in GA Cup. I think all the games are very competitive and very close, and we had some really good performances from some of the obviously U17s we're keeping more of a closer eye on, but also the U15s with Santi Morales getting called into the national team, Benjamin Kramaski getting called into the national team in their appropriate ages. So there's some good individual performances, but I think as a collective everyone can be really proud in such a prestigious competition. The 17s lost to the eventual winners in a very tight semi-final game, and then obviously the 15s unfortunately had to play the same team twice in the knockout stage that they'd already beaten less than 48 hours earlier. So that's always very difficult in tight games to beat that same team twice. But I think overall everyone's extremely pleased with the performances of the players. The staff's done a great job, and I think it's again gives us a platform, what we're trying to do, to keep moving players forward. No, there are a lot of takeaways. Look, I think what we told the players was if you don't learn the lessons from those experiences, then you miss the point. So, it was a hard game. No question. There's lots of things we can say about that match, but the matchups on the day, they took full advantage on it. They got on to us early, and we never got in a rhythm to impose our identity, which is something we'd done in the three previous games. And we weren't able to do that in the match, and that's credit to New York City. They came with a really good game plan, good quality side, and our players on the day just couldn't get into a rhythm. And then, you can see early on a penalty that has mysteriously disappeared from the video, and then they get a really good second goal. Start the second half, our guys responded quite well. We had a couple of little chances and maybe got a little bit of a foothold in the game, and then conceded the third and the fourth straight away, and then it was a real big uphill task for the players, and one we couldn't quite get through on the day. So but really good learning experience. First road trip, we had a really good meeting, very positive. We looked at the video briefly because I think the players know. They know, but we showed them a few little clips that I thought were important, which were good educational moments for them. And then we spoke about how we play on the road, how can we be successful on the road, and it was a collective effort, and we've got some ideas going into the weekend where we make sure we improve upon the performance last week. No, I think what you find, right, when you're feeling it and the other team gets probably that foothold and is being more aggressive in the game, and they're up, their confidence grows, and they're doing things that maybe they wouldn't do if it was 0-0, and they were able to execute them. So, I don't think, the easy way is to say, the players didn't work hard, the players didn't do this. No, on the day we were unable to establish a rhythm in the game, and because of that, whether that's New York, whether that's ourselves, we always dig deep and look at that, and we look at both options. But I think it's a combination of both, and it's not all the players, it's not all the coaches, it's not all New York. There's the combination in there, and so for us, the most important thing is we learn from that, and we always speak about trying to. You've heard me say it before, but we always want to, impose our identity onto the opponent. And we're unable to do that, and that was the consequence last week. And then obviously they grew in confidence and scored some late goals. So it's all part of the learning experience. Nobody here is happy about it. I think it's sat hard on everybody this week. But bottom line is what you see on the training ground is the players responded well. They've really worked hard. I mean, really worked hard this week on the training ground. So we expect to see that transition well into Saturday's match against Cincinnati. No, again, the takeaways from that game is, we need to make sure we defend better, and, we learn that it has to be collective defending. You can't play as individuals and do things because it's right for you in that moment. It's a collective effort. So I think that's what we've been focusing on, collective effort, shifting together, being tight, being compact, and we've worked on that, because when you get opened up 7-0, there's a flaw somewhere. So we've addressed that. The players are taking that on board. They've taken it on the chin. Nobody likes to lose 7-0, as we spoke about, but again, we're not hiding from it, and we're prepared to go again this weekend.
Go about that?
Yeah, no, I mean, look, it gives people opportunities. So, there's players in that locker room that haven't had opportunities previously, but got opportunities. So it's all about making the most of your opportunity when you have it. And that's what we talk about. And the mentality from our stand is, it's next man up all the time. Next man up, it's your turn. Off you go. Let's see what we've got. It's your opportunity today. So that mentality doesn't change. That's what we run through the group. And, they have to make the most of it. And there's going to be weekends where the U17s are at Generation Adidas Cup, the first team's away in Seattle. That's going to happen. That's an opportunity for somebody else, and I think that's the way we view it. That's the way I've always viewed it throughout my coaching career. You get out there, you roll your sleeves up. It's your opportunity. You're ready for it. We're training you to be ready for it. So make the most of that opportunity.
Edison and Ryan Saylor out there with you guys. Edison coming back from injury. What are their plans for the weekend? Will they see? I imagine they'll see some time. I don't know if it's from the starting role, substitute role. What are the plans for them?
Yeah, no, they'll be on limited minutes this weekend to keep them ticking over. I must say both have done really well in training this week with us. Obviously, with the first team in the Open Cup, it's been a kind of we've adjusted the weeks, and we play Saturday, first team plays Sunday, so the weeks have been adjusted slightly. But to see them train this week, and even some of the other first team lads that have been in with us for training purposes, really good. And they set a really good standard for the young players to look up to and aspire to play like. So, we're looking forward to seeing both Edison and Ryan. Ryan make his professional debut more than likely tomorrow, and obviously Edison getting into a good run of form. If he transitions from his training form yesterday onto the field, I'm expecting a really big game from him.
I wanted to ask you about the Open Cup. Miami just drew South Georgia Tormenta, somebody you're probably familiar with. How much are you going to be helping out the first team coaching staff with that?
Yeah, as much as they would like, as always. They do an excellent job and with what they do, but I've already been texting with the gaffer, so we've had some good conversations, and we were quite familiar with Tormenta. I know they did a little bit of an overhaul of their roster, especially in particular in midfield, than what they had last year. And well-coached team. We had some really good close contests last year. I think even one was 4-4, so that should be entertaining. But it's a good matchup. It's a good team, and they've got off to a decent start in USL 1. So there's a couple more weeks before that game, but I'm sure familiar with some of their players that I can help the coaches with. Yeah, I think, look, we want to make sure we put some of our identity into the game. I didn't think we did that last week. So most importantly, we've got to get a foothold in the game. Whatever length of time that is, and you can get a foothold for 10 minutes and win the game 1-0 away from home. So for us, it's how long we can impose our identity on Cincinnati with the players' performances. But yeah, we all want to win, and I think that's important. But the 10,000 foot view is we've got to get players ready for the first team. May Membika last week was named Team of the Week, having previously played with the MLS 2, and this team and this program is about making sure for the first team, but also for the first team for 2 years, so that it's having that view, the short term view of it and the long term, as well as the medium term. So really for us, we want to make sure we deliver a good performance. We will be fighting to win the game. We want to be as competitive as possible, and these players need to make sure that they want to win, but also go out there and deliver a performance that allows you to win. And I think that's the biggest takeaway from last week.